Welcome to Wine Vault TV, New Zealand's most passionate wine programme, and today, don't know whether you can hear that in the background, but we've got Carla Bruni playing on the CD, not live, because we're going to do two wines from the Rhone Valley. The first one is from Sablé, and it's the Cotes du Rhone, and it's from Sablé, which is basically adjacent to Gigondas, in the southern half of the Rhone Valley, near Vaccaraz and Gigondas, and fairly close to Châteauneuf-du-Pape. I don't know whether you can see that. It's an 07, and this one is a Marsanne-Roussanne, but in Cotes du Rhone whites you are allowed Uni Blanc and Picpoul Blanc, which are allowed to be kind of up to 20% of the wine, but the rest of the wine has to be made up from Grenache Blanc, Viognier, Claret Blanc, Marsanne-Roussanne obviously, and this one is a varietal, but the main components are Marsanne and Roussanne. You tend to get a kind of, for me I tend to get kind of apricot, kind of almost almond, and it tends to be fairly oily in the mouth as well, which kind of like, it's fascinating. It's really good with kind of a bit of seafood, especially if it's got Picpoul in there as well, kind of like fairly high acidic kind of wine. But Sablé is kind of like, it's made up of about just over 200 hectares of land under vine anyway, and it's a kind of ready kind of sandstone kind of soil, and so let's see what we get. I get a lot of citrus off the nose, more citrus than I was actually thinking that I would get. I was thinking kind of more almond off the nose, but get a bit of kind of white peach. I'm also almost getting some of those old plastic fruit we used to get in the bowls in the kind of 70s. Probably not most of you would actually remember that, but then I get a hint of kind of nuttiness at the back. And there's the oiliness that I'm talking about. It's pretty evident. You'd almost think it's kind of off dry. It's got a really good acid kind of backbone. And this wine retails for about 20 bucks. So not much different from the kind of Sauvignon Blanc that we get over here, or Chardonnay, kind of lower end Chardonnay. But if you're wanting something different, this is going to appeal to probably not the Sauvignon drinker, but more the kind of Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, kind of Riesling drinker, where you get that kind of oiliness, and then I get the kind of almond kind of character right at the back. Not bad. I'm not overly sold on it, but 20 bucks. Something different. I would suggest is going to probably go out and find. Well, see if you can find it, or any Cotes du Rhone white, Châteauneuf-du-Pape white as well. They're just kind of pretty under the radar right now, but probably going to give that 83, 84 points. The next wine, once I've done this, is Enclave de Pape. Châteauneuf, Cotes du Rhone Cuvée Special, and it's made by David Morrison, who's actually an Australian winemaker, and he's over there. And like Cotes du Rhone is a big kind of area. It stretches 200k, pretty much from Vienne in the north to Avignon in the south, and I think there's about kind of 83,000 plus kind of hectares under vine. And then kind of like you have Cotes du Rhone, then you have above that you have Cotes du Rhone Village, then above that you have Cotes du Rhone Village that's actually named, and then you have your cru wine. So I mean, this is kind of like, this is the basic level of wine. It doesn't mean it's not any good, but the kind of grape varietals kind of they're allowed in there. Grenache, Syrah. Grenache has to make up 40% of the wine. Then it's Syrah. Then you've got Cinsault. Then you've got Mourvèdre, Carignan, and I think that's about it. And it's been on AC since, or Appellation Controle since 1937. Then they kind of like did a little bit of tweaking in '96. Then they did a bit more tweaking in 2001. And yeah, it's probably the most famous kind of Rhone after Châteauneuf du Pape. It's probably the most famous and most drunk kind of wine from the Rhone. You get a lot of black fruit off that, straight off that nose. It's very New World on the nose. It's very bright, vibrant fruit just jumping out the glass, kind of clawing at your face. It's that kind of blackberry that you get kind of in the autumn. You're just picking off fresh off the brambles and stuff like that, and you almost get a bit of bramble in there as well. But then you get a kind of bit of strawberry, synonymous with Grenache as well. You get a nice dry, tannic kind of structure in there. Very fruity, very, very New World. If you want, then you get a bit of kind of earthiness right at the back there. That kind of brown, muddy kind of character. Not overly complex, easy to just drink now. Kind of probably not going to last any more than kind of another kind of year or so in the bottle. But if you want something that's old meets New World, it's probably a pretty good example. Slightly underwhelming, but then again, like 20 bucks again. Pretty difficult to find a decent red for under 20 bucks nowadays. Probably going to score this kind of 85 points. It meets a certain kind of like part of the market right now, kind of like that sub 20 wine with a bit of interest factor rather than kind of a sugary sweet kind of Pinot Noir or something like that. Really good with kind of charcuterie, dried kind of cold meats, or a bit of kind of, but something a bit more kind of gamier, kind of rabbit, kind of maybe kind of if you've been out pig hunting or something like that lately and you've got access to that bit of venison or something, this is probably ideal for it. And so yeah, 85 points, not too bad. I hope you enjoyed the music. I hope you kind of heard that in the background. But until next time on Wine Vault TV, we'll catch you later.